It was a beautiful winter's day, so perfect for going and exploring some of the more rural parts of South Australia. My destination was one of the state's oldest towns called Kapunda. It's about an hour's drive northeast of the state capital of Adelaide. The surrounding district is now known for its cereal crops, but the township was established due to the copper that was found in the area in the mid-19th century. Driving into the town from Adelaide, you're greeted by a large statue of a Cornish miner called Matt Kernay, which is Cornish for son of Cornwall. The main street is very indicative of a small Australian town, with mainly single-storey buildings and with the larger buildings being pubs and banks. A large mural of the mine in its heyday can be found in the main part of the town. The mine area is an open-air park for visitors to come and explore. There's a circular trail that takes you around the mine site. The old mine chimney stands out. The miners were Cornish, and so the chimneys they built were round. I've learnt a lot about mine chimneys from visiting the local historic sites, and upon a visit to Cornwall exclaimed, "Oh, the chimneys here are round. It wasn't just a myth that was passed on to us by our history teachers." The original mine was underground and the pump stations were built to pump out the water. This is what remains of a pump station. The chimney belonged to it and it was connected by an underground flue. I think this horse sculpture is absolutely fabulous. It's made from old iron materials found around the district. The horses would spend their days walking in circles to drive the machinery that was used to bring out the copper ore from deep in the mines. When the mine was first established in 1844, the miners went down into shafts dug into the ground. By 1865, it was more difficult to mine that way, and open cut mining was introduced. Walking around, you can see the danger mine shaft signs in the area, and the open cut mines with the green tinge of the copper ore. Copper meant that the town was quite wealthy. The town has some beautiful old colonial homes dating back to the 1860s. This is a private residence, but at one stage it had been a school. The various Christian denominations also built their churches, which can still be found in the town today. This had been the Baptist church and it's now the local museum. Kapunda's other major claim to fame was that it was the town that Australia's cattle baron made his home. During his lifetime, Sydney Kidman owned over 100 cattle stations. After he and his wife retired to Adelaide, they donated their house to the education department for Kapunda High School, and is still part of the high school today. In the background is the North Kapunda Hotel. The back of this hotel is where Sydney Kidman sold his horses. The record is 1,000 horse sales in one day. Looking over the town and the surrounding area, it's winter, so everything is very green. It's different in summer, and the crops have been harvested and the landscape dries out. The statue of Matt Curnow is to commemorate the Cornish miners that worked in the town. The mine jobs were based on where people came from. The miners were Cornish, the workers who operated the smelters were Welsh, and the labourers were Irish. Driving back to Adelaide, the view is one of flat land, and it reminded me of a comment a Japanese friend made when experiencing the Australian landscape for the first time. She looked out onto the horizon and exclaimed, "Oh, big sky!" I'm always reminded of this comment when driving and seeing the open spaces of the countryside. This view is one our big wide world has to offer.